here. Happy Friday. Give me a shout out if you're joining me live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're joining the replay. I'm here to talk about a really important topic, which is consistency. So the other day in the Facebook group, I posted a question about what stops you from being consistent. And I saw a number of answers: self-sabotage, fun things, not planning ahead, all of these things that get in the way of us sticking to our goals and for us really implementing, our word, right? So comment in the chat if you struggle with that you struggle with being consistent, whether it's with your healthy eating, whether it's with your exercise, whether it's, with your friends or family. Hey, Donna, how's it going over there up in New York, right? So I want to hop on here. I know it's Friday afternoon, Easter weekend's ahead of us, but I know that creating consistency is so important for everyone. And I want you guys to think about this over the weekend going into a new month, right? It's officially beginning of April, holy moly. How can you create consistency this month? How can you, hey, Chloe, what's going on? Happy Friday up in Philly. So how can we create consistency? I'm gonna give you guys 3 keys to consistency, all right? And so I'm gonna walk you through them right now because I want you to understand that this is completely doable, and creating consistency is really important for you to achieve your goals. I always say what we do consistently is who we will become. Chloe, how many times have you heard me say that, right, in CMW? And I want you guys to know that this not only applies to the health, the weight loss, weight gain, weight maintenance journey, but this applies to anything in your life. It applies to work. It applies to your relationships. It applies if you're an entrepreneur running a business. It can really be anything in your life. So 3 keys to creating consistency, because as you guys know, I am all about creation, right? We have to really build the things in life that we want. It's not given to us, right? We can't just do a bunch of research and then it happens. We have to create it from the ground up. And that is how you're going to be consistent. All right, so I'm going to walk you through this training right here. So the first step to creating consistency, and I highly recommend you guys take notes today. Highly recommend it because this stuff is gold and is going to affect you in all parts of your life. Step 1 is language, okay? The words that come out of your mouth and what you're thinking in your head, right, consciously, but also subconsciously, right? It affects your consistency. It affects the weight on the scale. It affects how you feel in your clothes. It affects everything. How you talk to yourself and how you think about yourself. All right. Language can really warp you in the wrong direction. All right. And oftentimes, even when you know the right things to do, right, and you are doing a lot of the right things, oftentimes our central nervous system, right, called the CNS, right, it really wants to argue with us. Oh my God, you've been down this road. Oh my God, this is not sustainable. You're not capable of continuing this. You have so many other things you need to be doing in your life. You're tired. You're stressed. You're anxious. You're all these things, right? So it's very common for our central nervous system to want to argue with us, right? And that's how we take those steps backward. And that's what self-sabotage is. Comment in the chat if self-sabotage is something you struggle with, right? That's self-sabotage. So the truth about language, right, and controlling your thoughts and controlling your beliefs about you as a person and your abilities to move forward, we have to really use language to support where we want to go, not harp on the past, right? You will never become the person you're supposed to be if you keep talking like the person you were. Write that down. Really think about that for a second, you guys. How can you move forward if you're stuck in the past? At some point, you have to shift into your new identity, who you want to be, right? That's why I ask people, where do you want to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now? Who do you want to become? What you do consistently is who you will become, right? Always forward, never backwards. Another of my favorites. Okay, so step number 1 to creating consistency is language. How do you talk to yourself, guys? Over the weekend, I want you to think about that. Right? And use language to move you forward, not backwards, number 1. Number 2 is reps. All right, I'm not talking about bicep curls. I'm not talking about squats, lunges, whatever, push-ups. I am talking about your habits, right? Eating those healthier meals, doing your walking, doing your workouts, going to bed on time, whatever your habits are, right? Doing it over and over and over again, right? Not for 3 days, not for 7 days, not for 10 days, not for 14 days, whatever. All right. And oftentimes people say, well, yeah, Kristen, that's my problem. I don't last more than 2 weeks. Comment in the chat if that's you. You don't last longer than 2 weeks. A month and you're done, right? You barely made it through the whole 30. It was like day 27. You're like, oh my God, is this over yet? Right? Comment if that's you. So here's what you have to do, guys. To be consistent, you have to have a lifestyle, these habits that are sustainable, right? For at least 6 months. That is the golden number, at least 6 months. Because if you cannot do these habits for 6 months, they're not sustainable. There's something off, right? There's something not aligned in your life, or they don't really align with your values, your core beliefs, your lifestyle, your family, right? Your schedule, whatever it is, right? So you have to be able to put in the reps for at least 6 months. And if you're not able to do that, you have to get really curious and ask yourself why. Is my lifestyle not sustainable? Too strict? Am I too hard on myself? Am I too harsh on myself? Right? So you have to think about that. So, that's the ultimate goal, right? To have a way of eating, a way of exercising, the motivation, a way of looking at yourself and talking to yourself that lasts for at least 6 months, a year, beyond. A lifestyle. Right? A lifestyle doesn't last just 10 days. Okay, so that's number 2, putting in the reps. Okay. And you guys too, just like, with the work, right? So, you can't just show up to work for 3 weeks and then expect a salary, right? And to be promoted. No, you have to be in a job for a while, put in the reps. Same thing with your health. Same thing with weight loss. It doesn't happen in just a few weeks. And if it happens that quickly, it's not sustainable. Build a system. That's actually the 3rd step. You want to build a system, right, that is sustainable for a long period of time, okay? A system, just to be clear, guys, is a collection of habits. It's a collection of all the reps you're putting in your life, okay? And the truth is, everyone is always going to be so focused on their goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to lower my A1C. I want to have more energy, right? We're going to just focus on that, right? And it's never going to happen. It's never going to be enough of a goal unless you have the right habits to get there, to lose the 30 pounds, to improve your energy, to get healthy. Donna, I see your goal, right? To get stronger. How are you doing it? What are your habits to get there? You have to have a system that you feel good about and you can stick to. You want to win and you want to be your best self, right? And with the right system, you can do that. Okay. And this is something that I learned from one of my mentors, Valerie. I want to give Valerie a huge shout out here because this is something she really instilled in me, not just, for health and weight loss, but just with life in general. She's been a great mentor to me. The difference between the greatest and the worst, the greatest moment in your life and the worst moment in your life, right? Are the distinctions. Okay. Are the distinctions, the small things, not the big things. Okay. So, you're 30 pounds heavier than you want to be. Let's just use weight loss, for example, right? If you're 30 pounds heavier, so you're like, oh God, I really don't want to be here. This is the worst, right? I'm at the lowest. I want to lose that weight, whatever, right? The way to get back to your best are the little things. It's not overhauling your diet completely right away. It's not going from sitting on your couch to working out 5 days a week, right? Or more, whatever it is. Right? It's not a crazy transition. So how do you do that? How do you go from the greatest to the worst? How do I know what are the little things to focus on that will lead to big results? Because I hear it too, guys. If you're moving too slowly, if you're doing all these little things and you're not seeing any change, comment in the chat if that's you. I hear this a lot. People wishing things would just progress more quickly. How do you know what to focus on to get to those big results in a way that keeps you motivated? Right? And most importantly, how do I stick to them? Right? And it all comes back to these 3 things. How are you talking to yourself? Right? Are you putting in the reps for more than 2 weeks? Because I can't tell you how many times people say, oh my God, I've been trying to lose weight for 3 months, 2 months. I've been doing everything right. It's let's talk about that. How consistent are you in putting in the reps? Right? 3 healthy meals is not going to shed 2 pounds. I'm sorry. Right? Or 3 workouts is not going to build those biceps. Okay. You know, how much are you sticking to them, right? The reps. And then what does it look like? What does your system look like? So it all comes back to those three things, guys: language, reps, and your system. Okay. And unless you have those three things, right, consistency is really difficult, right? And consistency is the key to your lifestyle. So if you're struggling with these three things, okay, I encourage you to get some support there, because once you have these three things, you're talking to yourself in a better way. There's no more self-sabotage or this all or nothing mindset or this really harsh inner critic. That's always going to stop you from being consistent. Always. Okay. If you're not putting in the reps, you give up on yourself too easily, right? Life gets in the way and you just shut down. Comment in the chat if that's you. Or, you don't know how to eat the right way that's sustainable. So you eat healthy for a week, it's really strict and you hate it, you're hungry and you're bored, and then you go and eat whatever, right? And if you need help developing this system, right, a really healthy way to live that you can do for 6 months. You guys, it's 6 months. That's the number, right? I always say it takes 21 days to create a habit and 90 days to create a lifestyle. But if that lifestyle is not sustainable for at least 6 months, then what's going to happen next, right? So you want it at least 6 months. So if you want help with that, that is what Create My Weight is all about. Our mission is to create consistency in your life, right? With everyone we work with, so that you have something that is sustainable. You have a way of eating, you have a way of moving, and you have a way of thinking about you, right? Your abilities, your confidence, right? And your inner strength and your physical strength. You have a way of looking at yourself that makes you feel super good and rock solid in your system, right? So you can maintain and you can inspire other people, right? So if you're looking for help with that, I encourage you to book a call with me. I'd love to help you really learn to create this consistency in a way that it looks like for you, because it's really it's actually impossible for me to come on here and say, okay, like this is exactly what you have to eat every day and how you have to work out every day, because not everyone's going to align with that or think it's meant for their lifestyle. So create your consistency is really about knowing more about you as a person and what you're going to feel good about, right? How to talk to yourself in a way that's better. What those reps look like for you. What can you do for 6 months? Not everyone can do the same thing for 6 months. Some people are here, some people are here, but where are you, right? And then once we fix these two things, that's the key. That's the number one of the three, all right? So you want some help with that, think about it, okay? You can just book a call with me, createmyweight.com/apply if you're really ready to take that step and build that consistency, okay, and really transform. Or I'll give you another option. I know Abby posted this in the group the other day. I have my upcoming challenge coming up, the CMW Spring Challenge. And what we do for those 2 weeks is we start to look at what building that system looks like, right? And so that's a great way to kind of get acclimated to the process and see what you're capable of, and learn a lot too. So if you want to check that out, createmyweight.com/challenge. It's like, you want to change, but you don't know how or like what you're willing to commit to. Okay. Because being consistent, there is a commitment piece. Absolutely. Okay. So I want you guys just to think about this over the weekend. I hope you guys took some notes. Here's my whiteboard, right? Language rep system. Comment in the chat here with what step you're going to focus on this weekend. Okay. Or what your big takeaway was from today's training. What was your big takeaway? That's actually what I want to know. What did you learn from today? Okay. Donna, Chloe, whoever else is joining me live, give me a shout out. Hey, Kristen, happy Friday, you guys. I am off to dinner with my husband now. So super excited for that. But this was just really on my heart this week. I know a lot of people struggle with this topic, and I hope this sheds some light on you. And I'll see you guys in the group next week. Have a good afternoon, evening. Bye, guys.